Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the Avexia webinar series. Our topic for today is personalized targeted microbiome modulation diet and its superiority over an elimination diet. My name is Christopher Chu. I am the Director of Marketing for Avexia Diagnostics and will be your host for this webinar. Today I have the distinct pleasure of being joined by an exciting guest, Dr. Ozkan Ufuk Nalbantoglu, who will be our presenter for this webinar. Dr. Nalbantoglu earned his PhD in bioinformatics from the highly respected University of Nebraska-Lincoln. During his time at UNL, he excelled as a principal investigator in multiple NIH, NFS, and DTRA-funded projects, and he made a significant impact as a bioinformatics software architect for the Earth Microbiome Project. His research and development activities are focused on discovering novel microbial biomarkers, and he holds 3 patents to his name on analysis and diagnostics of microbiome data. Without further delay, I will now turn the webinar over to Dr. Nalbantoglu.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Dr. Ufuk, Chief Technology Officer at Enbiosis Biotechnology. It's a pleasure to be here with Avexia Diagnostics. In this presentation, I'll be sharing the long-term outcomes from our latest clinical study. We compared Enbiosis' personalized diet with the standard low FODMAP elimination diet in IBS patients, tracking their progress over 12 months. Our goal wasn't just to see short-term symptom relief, but to understand how a targeted AI-driven dietary approach could create lasting improvements in gut function, microbiome diversity, and overall quality of life. So what exactly do we mean by elimination diets? These diets are commonly used to manage digestive symptoms by removing certain food groups that are thought to trigger discomfort, things like gluten, dairy, or fermentable carbohydrates. They're often recommended when a patient is dealing with bloating, abdominal pain, or irregular bowel movements, and the idea is to reduce the burden on the gut by taking potential irritants out of the equation. Now, while this approach can bring short-term relief, we have to look at the full picture. Elimination diets are typically restrictive, hard to maintain over time, and, perhaps most importantly, they don't address the underlying imbalance in the gut microbiome. In fact, they may even contribute to microbiome disruption, especially when followed for extended periods. So yes, they can reduce symptoms, but they do so by avoiding the problem, not by correcting it. And that brings us to a critical point. Even when elimination diets are applied with good intentions, they often fall short for several reasons we consistently see in clinical settings. First, they lack personalization. The same set of restrictions is applied to everyone, ignoring the unique structure of each person's microbiome. Second, they can lead to nutritional deficiencies. When you start cutting out multiple food groups, the risk of missing essential nutrients becomes very real. Then there's adherence. Many patients simply find it too hard to maintain these diets over time, especially without proper support. And even if they do stick with it, we see a high rate of symptom recurrence once the restricted foods are reintroduced. But perhaps most importantly, we now have evidence that prolonged restriction can actually harm the microbiome, reducing beneficial species like Bifidobacterium, which are key to gut health and resilience. So while these diets may address the symptoms, they can introduce a whole new set of challenges in the long run. So when we talk about elimination diets, the most common one you'll hear about, especially in IBS management, is the low FODMAP diet. It was originally developed to reduce the intake of fermentable carbohydrates. And to its credit, it does show positive effects in the short term, particularly in symptom control. The protocol involves restricting a long list of foods, onions, garlic, legumes, dairy, wheat, and even some fruits, then reintroducing them gradually to identify potential triggers. But this level of restriction can be challenging. It's not easy to follow without professional guidance, and it's certainly not something most people can sustain long term. What's more concerning for us at Enbiosis is the growing body of evidence suggesting that diets like low FODMAP may reduce the abundance of beneficial bacteria, especially bifidobacteria, which are essential for microbiome balance. We've also seen that many patients relapse after the reintroduction phase. So while the diet may help with symptoms early on, it doesn't address the root dysfunction, and in some cases, it may even compromise microbial diversity over time. Recent high-quality studies support this concern. As shown here, while symptom scores improve temporarily, microbiota diversity drops, bifidobacteria levels decrease, and SCFA production suffers. These findings highlight the cost of generic elimination approaches and the urgent need for personalization. Why do we need personalized diets? Because the microbiome is unique to each individual. At Enbiosis, we don't believe in one-size-fits-all approaches. Instead, we use AI to generate a diet that specifically targets the imbalances in a person's gut microbiota. This isn't about removing broad food groups. It's about building sustainable symptom control while actually supporting microbial diversity, not compromising it. Our system is flexible, adaptive, and rooted in individual data. It doesn't just mask symptoms temporarily. It works to address the underlying dysfunction. When we compare this to elimination diets, the difference is clear. Same protocol for everyone, difficult to sustain, and they rarely target the root cause. In many cases, they may even reduce microbial diversity, which can worsen long-term outcomes. Let me walk you through how our system works. It starts with a microbiome analysis kit. After the sample is processed in the lab, raw data flows into the Enbiosis AI platform. From there, we generate a fully personalized nutrition plan, recipe suggestions, and targeted supplement recommendations. Practitioners then use this information to guide their patients toward long-term health, bridging biotechnology and clinical care. This brings us to our most recent clinical study, published in the American Journal of Gastroenterology. In this research, we set out to compare the effectiveness of Enbiosis' AI-assisted personalized diet, which is fully tailored to the individual's microbiome profile, with the standard low FODMAP diet, which is widely used but not personalized. Our aim was clear: to move beyond symptom suppression and instead address the root causes of digestive dysfunction through targeted microbiome modulation. Let's now take a look at how we structured the study. To evaluate this, we designed a randomized controlled study involving 121 individuals diagnosed with IBS. Participants were divided into two groups. The PD group, which received a microbiome-based AI-assisted personalized diet, designed entirely by Enbiosis AI using each individual's unique microbial profile, and the LFD group, which followed the conventional low FODMAP elimination protocol. We collected stool samples from all participants and conducted microbiome analysis using 16S rRNA sequencing. Throughout the study, we monitored three key parameters: IBS symptom severity, quality of life, and emotional well-being, specifically anxiety and depression levels. These gave us a comprehensive understanding of not only clinical outcomes, but also the broader impact on daily functioning and mental health. This table shows statistically significant improvements in both groups. However, the personalized diet group demonstrated more consistent improvements across key markers, especially in pain, distension, dissatisfaction with bowel habits, and quality of life. Importantly, these improvements were achieved without restrictive food elimination. And perhaps most critically, we observed a positive shift in microbiome diversity. In the personalized diet group, the relative abundance of Faecalibacterium prausnitzii, a beneficial anti-inflammatory bacterium, increased post-intervention. In contrast, the FODMAP group showed less consistent changes, with some participants even experiencing a decline. So how did our personalized diet compare to the standard low FODMAP approach overall? When we look at total outcomes, Enbiosis PD outperformed LFD in 7 out of the 11 clinical measures we tracked, including the most critical ones: IBS symptom severity and quality of life scores. In terms of symptom improvement, PD showed significant benefit across all IBS subtypes, whereas LFD's effect was mainly limited to the IBS-M group. Interestingly, for symptom reduction, LFD had a stronger short-term effect in IBS-M, but our PD approach was clearly more effective in IBS-C and IBS-D subtypes. And when it comes to quality of life, the personalized approach again showed superiority, significantly improving QOL across all subgroups. The low FODMAP group, on the other hand, only showed improvement in constipation-dominant patients. When we look at recovery rates, the results are clear. Our personalized diet led to higher recovery across all key clinical endpoints: symptom severity, quality of life, and anxiety and depression levels. But here's something even more interesting. In the PD group, we saw a direct relationship between adherence and outcomes. When adherence dropped, symptoms worsened. This tells us the system works, but consistency matters. In contrast, adherence didn't really influence outcomes in the LFD group. This suggests its effect may be more limited or not tightly linked to individual needs. And looking deeper into microbiota composition, we saw a meaningful increase in Faecalibacterium prausnitzi levels in the PD group. This is a beneficial anti-inflammatory species, so its increase is not just a marker of microbial change, but of improved gut resilience. The LFD group showed no such shift. After the initial 6-week dietary intervention, we didn't stop there. To truly understand the lasting impact of our approach, we followed up with participants at both 6 and 12 months. At each time point, we repeated the microbiome analysis, tracking whether the improvements we observed were sustained over time. At both 6 and 12 months, we saw something remarkable. In the Enbiosis personalized diet group, IBS-SS scores remained significantly lower across all IBS subtypes, and the improvement was statistically sustained over time. Meanwhile, in the LFD group, initial symptom relief faded. By month 12, scores had returned close to or even above baseline in some cases. This tells us that the Enbiosis approach doesn't just manage symptoms, it delivers lasting, measurable impact. And this is where it all comes together. Alpha diversity, a key indicator of microbial resilience, increased significantly in the Enbiosis PD group and remained elevated throughout the 12-month period. In contrast, the LFD group peaked at 6 weeks, then declined. This suggests that while both diets may induce short-term shifts, only the personalized approach supports lasting microbiome stability, the kind that's needed for sustainable health outcomes. 4.0. To sum up the long-term findings, IBS symptoms in the PD group remained low at both 6 and 12 months, while in the LFD group, symptoms returned. Quality of life improvements in the PD group were not only more pronounced, but also more stable over time. Anxiety scores decreased in both groups, with slightly better outcomes in PD, while depression scores significantly improved and were sustained only in the PD group. So while elimination diets may provide short-term relief, our data shows they can compromise microbiome diversity and limit long-term success. In contrast, Enbiosis personalized diet supports microbial diversity, sustains clinical gains, and promotes lasting gut health. To wrap up, while conventional IBS drugs often fall short due to cost, side effects, or limited impact, Enbiosis offers a faster, safer, and more sustainable path. Within 6 weeks, patients experience real relief, and over time, better gut health and quality of life. Most importantly, 75% said they'd choose this approach long-term. That's not just symptom management, that's transformation. Practitioners using the Enbiosis platform are provided with a dedicated panel where they can view each patient's full microbiome analysis results. Beyond the gut health report, the panel also offers access to over 300 personalized food recommendations, more than 4,000 AI-matched recipes, and individualized probiotic and prebiotic suggestions. This centralized view allows practitioners to track patient progress over time and adjust recommendations accordingly. Right after this, I'll walk you through how our AI diet planner simplifies the creation of tailored nutrition plans using the same underlying microbiome data. Let me now show you how our diet planner works, a tool that translates microbiome science into daily nutrition. Once a patient's gut health report is ready, practitioners can log into their panel and access this interface. Here they can select key parameters: diet duration, number of meals per day, preferred cuisines, allergies or intolerances, and even dietary models like Mediterranean or low carb. What makes this planner unique is its integration with our AI engine. It pulls directly from the patient's microbiome data and food compatibility scores. Once the preferences are set, the system instantly generates a fully personalized meal plan, complete with daily menus and editable content. The practitioner can review, adjust, and save the plan, or share it directly with the patient's panel. This ensures consistency and compliance without the need for manual dietary calculations. To explore this solution further and offer it to your patients, you can now access the Enbiosis test directly via the Evexia Diagnostics portal. Ordering takes just a few clicks, and from there, our system handles the rest, from lab analysis to personalized nutritional guidance. Thank you for your time and attention. We look forward to supporting your practice with microbiome-based precision nutrition.
For any questions or issues you may have, please contact Avexia Diagnostics by email at info@avexiadiagnostics.com or by phone 5 days a week at extended hours, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time at 888-852-2723. Thank you, Dr. Nalbantoglu, for this informative presentation. Thank you all again for joining us for this webinar event. Until next time, from everyone at Avexia Diagnostics and Enbiosis, stay healthy, stay safe, and we wish you all the best on your pathway to wellness.